Good day, everyone, and welcome to our live webinar. We're thrilled to have you join us today. Are you ready to delve into some of the most pressing and fascinating topics in the world of artificial intelligence? Before we dive into our agenda, let's go over a few housekeeping items. First, I want to let you know that this webinar is being recorded. Link to the recording will be shared with all participants, so you can revisit the insights and information at your convenience. Those who wish to engage with us during the session, we encourage you to use the comments sidebar. You can place your comments and questions there as they come to mind. Don't wait until the end. Feel free to ask your questions right away. We'll pick them up during our conversation. And now for the show.
All right. Hi, Hendrik.
Hi, Stefan.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm here as co-founder of PIMvendors.com. You probably know me, Stefan Spankers. Happy to join you in this second session with Hendrik van Zwol. Hendrik, maybe you can start with a quick introduction, and then I'll walk people through the rest of the presentation we have in mind for them.
Well, okay, and well, maybe a nice thing to tell the viewers that the first video was made by AI.
Yeah, fully. So
fully. So the next time we will have an AI host.
No more Stefan and Hendrik needed. We just,
no. I'll get my slideshow. 1 second, please.
Just avatars talking to each other.
Yeah. I will share my screen. 1 minute.
We can already do this with podcasts, right? You have these philosophers talking to each other and discussing senseless topics. Like we are sharing our passions, our senseless passions. So.
Actually, there are some people, they having their own podcast. So they are filtering all the news from the internet, make a summary with ChatGPT, then go it through an, how do you call this tool? You have a tool
Whisper?
To make, what do you say?
Whisper, I think.
Zapier. Zapier, and Zapier will use ChatGPT and 11 Labs to translate in different way of languages. And a person is, I think, just lying on the beach and all the podcasts going automatically. And that's the way he earns his money. So, it's an idea, I think.
Last time I checked, podcasts did not earn that much money, but it's
no.
It's a good vision to have, to be laying on the beach and do a weekly video with you, Hendrik, and we just sitting on the beach and drinking cocktails.
Yeah.
Okay, let me share your screen.
And the people who have watched the last time already know who I am, but just a short introduction. I'm Hendrik, and I just call myself AI magician because I like to inspire people with all new kinds of technology, and especially on the part of AI. And first, let's introduce myself about my private situation. I'm married. I have 3 kids. I live in the north of Holland, in Friesland. And previously, I worked for different kind of companies, and I worked together with Grols, a Dutch beer brewer, the Dutch Railways, the Royal Post, and a Dutch cinema. And I did their marketing, creation, and gave technology advice. And now I have 3, since May, I started my own company, and I have 3 things where I focus on. First, I help organizations with AI. And it's all on the part of image creation, automating tasks, streamline HR, video creation, analyze documents. So companies can ask me, how can I do this? And I will give a workshop and train them in-house. So that the next time, the people at the company can do it by themselves. The second thing is I giving AI inspiration sessions. So I give it at companies, but also on events and also for the government. And the last part I do is helping creatives with Midjourney. So that means when a creative company comes to me, I give them training how they can create images with Midjourney. That's an image generator tool. For example, you can make funny avatars like celebrities and myself. But you also can do the Pope, who is playing the DJ in Ibiza, or King Charles, who is baking a burger. But also I can put myself in it. This is morphing people with animals, or putting myself into Toy Story or the Minions, or putting on a cover magazine, and even on a movie poster. So that's the 3 things I do. So giving training about Midjourney, giving inspiration sessions about AI, and helping organizations implementing AI in their business. So back to you, Stefan.
All right, cool stuff, Hendrik. It's always good to see those examples. Do you? I mean, you're using Midjourney, right? Is there a specific reason you're using Midjourney versus, I don't know, Stable Diffusion or others?
Yeah, well, Midjourney have a few reasons why I use it, because it is one of the first image models with a lot of data. They have do a lot of innovations, and it's now possible to use your own image as a reference image to clone yourself.
Yeah.
And you can, for example, make cartoons, but also high quality images that looks like a picture, and you can act like an photographer, like you can use a camera type, shutter time, lenses, using special kind of artists that you want to use for your photo. Like I want to use Annie Leibovitz as the style. So it's an advanced image model. And there are a lot more there. There are Canva, Adobe Firefly, Leonardo, but I prefer Midjourney.
Super interesting. Okay. Okay, cool. We'll get to that maybe later when we start discussing copyright.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But that's for later. Let's first do sort of my own intro, maybe real quick. I'm the co-founder of PIMvendors.com. I have a background in startups and scale-ups, mostly on the intersection of operations and IT. Focus on e-commerce and PIM. And well, just as Hendrik has trained his model, this is a Stable Diffusion trained model. This is Stable Diffusion way back. I think this is a year old, actually. I like your images better, Hendrik, but that's I need to update these. So maybe real quick background on PIM Vendors. We help you with a solution for your product data challenges, including how to improve them with AI. And we sit in between the users of PIM and the implementation partners and vendors of solutions. We know your challenges and we translate them to the solutions. We do that sort of within a way that we help you accelerate your architecture and get a process and architecture in place that enables your ambitions. That can be designing the whole thing, that can be enhancing an existing design or an existing architecture, but also selecting new tools or making sure they're all connected. We've done that for many organizations on all sort of parts of the value chain, so from manufacturing to retail, and also covering a wide range of tools, something you can all see on our website. So I won't bore you with this much longer. What we're going to do today is actually a sort of extension of what we did last month. It feels like longer ago, maybe, Hendrik, but things move fast in this market. So we're going to discuss a quick trends and market update. We're going to dive in some new tools and new use cases that we see in the world of the artificial. Let's keep it a bit broader than just generative AI, and also going to discuss next steps if you're looking forward to more inspiration. So let's start with the first. So I think the thing we wanted to do different from the last presentation we did was we dove right into the tools immediately. I think it's also interesting to take one step back maybe and discuss what is happening and what has happened since the last discussion we had. And quite a lot has happened. I think every month in generative AI feels like a year. And even though the crazy pace of last year has maybe changed a bit to a smoother sailing, I do think it's still a very dynamic market, and it still feels like yesterday when we had the OpenAI shakeup with Sam being fired, sort of. But that was already November, December last year, I think, if I remember correctly. So just a quick update on sort of the market. What we have seen in the past few days, I think, is a quick retraction of all the different tech stocks, right? They had some less than exuberant quarterly earnings and quarterly earnings reports because the investments in AI take some time to materialize. At least that was the sort of guidance given by all the analysts, or the explanation given by, well, the people who want to make news every day or need to make news every day. I think some recovery has already taken place. When you look at a slightly longer timeline than just last week, you see, I mean, this is Jan 2023, so 18 months ago, roughly. It's still pretty insane, I would say, the changes in stock prices of the Magnificent Seven, right? I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with the term. You had the FANG group. I think that moved to no longer include Netflix, but include NVIDIA. And of course, Meta changed their name, or Facebook changed their name to Meta. So now it's the Magnificent Seven that are all sort of involved in high tech and AI, be it the infrastructure of AI, such as NVIDIA, or and Amazon, of course, and the sort of model side of AI, which is more in the Microsoft, Apple, maybe Tesla. What are your thoughts on this, Hendrik, the past few weeks?
Well, I really think it was a crazy situation because the stock markets were falling down because people were thinking that AI will cut the cost in work and make more money with AI. And well, that did not happen right now. So that's one of the reasons that a lot of shareholders were a little bit scared. And even when I think that Warren Buffett did sold almost all his Apple shares. So that was one of the reasons that a lot of AI investors withdraw the money, and the stocks fell down. So I really think that a lot of shareholders has the wrong idea what AI can do. I think the most shareholders think that people can do more work in the same time with lower cost and more and earning more money. I think that's the wrong way of thinking. I think AI will reduce boring work and create more chance to do fun work. And even in this time when it's hard to find people to work for your company because there are not enough people right now for the work what is for the open jobs. So I think AI can help with that, like for your customer service, or making work more attractive to automate things that is not nice to do. So I think shareholders should look at the benefits of AI instead of the money making, I think.
And also, I'm curious also what the audience thinks, like what is driving this retraction? Is it just a blip? I mean, when you look at the 18-month time scale, it's still a huge increase, right? This is including, it doesn't show in the chart actually, but it does include data up to yesterday. So you see it doesn't show it doesn't show July and August, but it does include data until yesterday. Mainly because it's ripped from an article that includes the most recent data. But in any case, curious what the audience thinks as well. I also believe it's sort of a what else did you think, right? Did you think that everyone is going to fire their whole content team just because we now have ChatGPT or Sora or Midjourney? It takes time, right? But I do think nobody knows, right? So when we look at, let's take NVIDIA, right? They are now selling the H100 as there's a huge backlog and a huge demand for these graphics chips because they're used to train models. But what happens when everyone has trained their initial model? Is there still going to be a market for these H100s? What does that do for inference, right? Are they still needed for inference? Are we going to have more efficient GPUs or tools to do inference? Inference is the sort of creation of these or replying to the queries of the users and creating the actual generation of the content instead of the training of the models. So when we have gone through this initial craze where everyone is going to train bigger and bigger models, is that market then maybe going to be saturated or even going to decline because everyone has already sort of trained their base model? What do you think about that? About the sort of the use case and the usage of models?
Well, it is really difficult because I don't think that anyone knows what will happen. Because some people say that it's like the
But you're the
.NET.
magician.
Yeah,
Hendrik,
but some people say it's like the .NET bubble. But I think, well, there are still a lot of chances for NVIDIA because, well, I think that everyone heard a few months ago that Apple announced that they want to roll out AI of Apple Intelligence in their smartphones. But the current, how do you say it? The current GPU is not strong enough to do all those AI things. So I think that the next iPhone 16 or maybe 17 maybe will have an NVIDIA chip to do all the AI calculations. So for the coming years, I think all the new devices have to be upgraded to do all these calculations, well, on premise, on the device by itself. So I think the stock market will go up again. But I still think that a lot of AI companies are worth too much because it's really it's a revolution, but on the other hand, it's also a hype. If you look for a tool right now on the internet, all the tools, and even tools from 10 years old, all have the label AI. So they all try to lift up in the AI label. So and all the companies, nice example, AI PIM. I don't know if people know it. AI PIM was a little box. You can plug it on with a magnetic on your shirt, and it can see what happens in your environment. It was a Kickstarter project. They raised a lot of money, but the project failed. It got bad reviews, and now they're trying to sell the company for $1 billion. So I think it was just maybe I cannot say a scam, but maybe it was just a try to make a product, and now to try to get a lot of money from investors to sell the company for a product that doesn't work. So, I don't know what will happen, but I think to a lot of companies is overrated, and I still think that the coming years need all kinds of technology from NVIDIA.
All right. I need a reason to upgrade my iPhone this year. So let's see if an AI PIM is enough. I'm going to continue because we want to move towards the tools. Quick word on copyright. I think this warrants a session on its own, I think. But what we have already seen last year were the first cases being brought against AI model companies, right? So the OpenAIs and Midjourneys and Stability AI, so the mother company of Stable Diffusion. Very curious what this does. There's also already a sort of differentiation happening in the market where some companies are specifically being brought into existence to launch permission-free material, right? So that it is definitely safe to use as a large corporation. I'm very curious how this evolves. As I said, warrants a specific session. Not going to dive into the details here, but there's definitely a different approach versus it started out with scrape everything like ChatGPT and Stability. I think we're seeing a more careful approach right now, and there's a market for that careful approach, I definitely believe. Then the European Union AI Act. I think we have learned from social media that we need to regulate new technological developments. I think it's super interesting that the European Union is the first to regulate AI, right? So we see different administrations and countries, right? Different countries struggling with this. I think it's a good thing to regulate AI. I think you also see now some issues with tools using our data as citizens to profit from that. Specifically now, I think Elon has come into some bad news recently because he was scraping European citizens on his platform to train his AI models on. Is that still legal? I don't know. But at least, and it leads to delays in launches for AI tools in our regions. But I still think it is necessary to have at least some regulation. We don't know what the future brings, as discussed, but I do think that what we have learned from social media is that just unleashing technology and not regulating is maybe not the best thing either. What do you think?
Yeah, you're right, Stefan. I think like with the social media, we had the Britannica scandal with well now Meta, but Facebook with scraping all the data, but also having well how they act around the elections in the USA. So I think regulations is well is great because they try to protect our privacy and our data. But on the other hand, it can delay some innovations because in Europe, well, there's almost no European company who is developing own AI software. We all need software from well the United States or even from China. So that's a big issue that in Europe there well okay Aleph Alpha we got Mistral, but there's only two companies in Europe that is building AI software. So that's a big problem, I think. And even with the smartphones, well, you have Samsung, there is Google, and of course there's Apple. And all those three companies is building AI features in their smartphones. And now they are saying, well, okay, we stopping to roll out them in Europe, and they well looking at each other. So no one dares to roll out something in Europe because they're all waiting on each other. Who is the first one that's roll out? And well, that can be an issue for us as a consumer, but also for the business that there is some well legacy on our innovation in our businesses, and well, that can be a problem.
So I have to wait for my new iPhone. Okay.
Yeah. I think maybe wait 2 more years. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. Let's continue. Another thing making headlines this week actually is two founders, or at least two people involved in since the inception of OpenAI leaving the company, Greg Brockman and John Schulman. One was the president of OpenAI, the other was a research scientist involved in alignment, right? AI alignment, making sure that AIs don't pose unacceptable risk, as the EU has well, tried to regulate. One is going to do a sabbatical, so might be going back to OpenAI, and it has been a long 9 years, I can imagine. The other joined a competitor.
Yeah.
What is your view on the changes at OpenAI?
Well, at this moment, there are only 3 founders left at OpenAI from the 11. There were 11 people, they started OpenAI, and even maybe a fun fact, Elon Musk was one of the founders of OpenAI, and he's now has all kind of lawsuits against OpenAI because all the copyright claims and how they use the model. So the problem is that all previous people all were well they were looking at an broad way on the company, how handle with privacy, ethics, data. Well, and now those people are gone. It's well an open playground for from Sam Altman to implement everything what he has in Vision. So, well, I think it's not good that all those people are leaving this company. So it's more an how do you say it in English? A capitalistic model right now, just for earning money and collecting as much data as they can, I think.
Right. I'm curious what the future brings, right? Let's see how this will influence the trajectory of Claude, so Anthropic, which is, I think, really catching up to OpenAI already.
Yeah, they're almost at the same level now. And I even read last week that even Google now is, well, number 1 now at this data model. But I think, well, in a few months, ChatGPT will release maybe the next model, and they are number 1 again. So it's well, they're all close together.
Yeah. So the capitalistic model is working.
Yeah.
There's competition for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So let's enough babbling about the different trends and the market updates. Let me know if you want to know more about certain updates. You want my opinion or Hendrik's opinion on certain developments. Just drop those questions or developments in the chat, and we'll try to answer your questions. Now we're going to show some new developments and some tools. Hendrik, I'm first going to go through the slides that we have, which include some interesting developments on the side of robotics and artificial intelligence, artificial humans. And later we'll go to the live demos. Let's see if I can start this this video. Hold on. Well, great that if you make a nice soundtrack under a very, I would say, nasty science fiction future vision where everything is done by robots, it looks semi-positive, I would say. And I'm glad that we can still outrun the robots because they can't move as fast.
I only miss Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator in this part.
It's a mix of amazement and still some, I would say, some fears being instilled, especially by that last view of large robots, the old generation of robots, robot arms, and the new generation of humanoid robots. You wanted to share this video, I think, because of the AI capabilities in these robots, right?
Yeah. Well, the combination, like there is AI, AI in a robot, and of course robots already longer exist, like all the robots in the car factories, and they're all longer busy with making just robots that can walk and do instructions. But now with all the AI technology, and especially large language models, they can build robots that can act, think like a human, not walk, but they can do things that normally human only were capable of. And even Elon Musk started his own company with the Tesla bot. That's more for consumers. Well, and I think it does me a little bit think about the I, Robot movie of Will Smith, like all the kinds of robots in a big warehouse and all standing next to each other. So on the other hand, it's a little fascinating and also a little bit scary. Both, like scary and fascinating.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get the directives right in their programming. No, it's super interesting that they do local compute, right? And they use artificial intelligence and different kinds of artificial intelligence in training these robots and having them self-learn, and probably will also be interacting with these robots through a large language model.
It can be amazing, for example, at earthquakes. And building a collapse, that they use robots like human that can lift things and look around. That will be a great idea. But in this case, I think I don't know if it is so much faster than a human right now.
At least you can put them in unsafe environments.
And
they can work for 24/7, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Though they do need to charge. Anyway, interesting vision on the future. Let's go to not this. Yes, next slide. Yeah, an AI commercial. Let's watch it first.
Who am I? I'm the one who can be 100 different investors all at once. With eToro, I can be Grace, a global tech investor. Or Max, a German local stock specialist. I could be Jan, a passive dividend hunter. Hey, I could be David. This David. With eToro, you can be inspired by investors worldwide. Their knowledge, their strategies, all out there for the taking. Be the investor you want to be. eToro.
Right. Still visibly AI. I think that is sort of the uncanny valley that we have to go through still, right? Where they're still visibly AI and feels a bit like a gimmick, I would say.
Yeah, right now it's still a gimmick, because also like the Toys R Us commercial, they made a commercial about a few months ago. And I read something that they fully made it with AI, but there still were 25 or 50 people working to correct all the images. And for example, when they they had to create 200 videos to get one video right. So it's still an experiment, but I think it can be useful. Like, for example, when you're have to film in another country when it is difficult to come there, or maybe you want to show a mix of a movie with the Himalaya on the background, then it can be useful, or telling something about the story. So it can be useful. And at this moment, it's still a lot of work, but you can do it, for example, with, I think there's a combination with Midjourney and Runway, I think. And Toys R Us was a combination with Midjourney and OpenAI Sora. And OpenAI Sora is not launched yet, but Runway is already available for everyone. And you can, for example, you can make a great, if you don't have a lot of money for making a real commercial, you can use it make it by AI.
Yeah. I'm curious if anyone has any other examples of this. Last time, I think last year we had an AI roundtable, I think, where we discussed the future of AI being multimodal, right? So both voice and video and text, right? I think the introduction of this meeting with the artificially generated Stefan introducing everyone, that was fully AI, right? That was the text was created by AI. The voice was cloned, was sort of my voice. Was still my voice, trained on my voice, and of course the video was also AI. That multimodal AI was going to be the future, and I think I'm very curious if anyone has examples of other tools or videos or things that indeed bring together all these different tools that are available to customers or to consumers to create cool stuff, maybe a bit scary stuff. Yeah, because that is, I think, where much of this is going.
I think, Stefan, it will be useful when you have language barriers, like if you have to make an instruction video, an instruction manual about safety or about how to package a product. You have people from other countries working at your company. Well, you can make one video and just with one press on the button, you can translate it in every kind of language.
Yeah.
So people can see it in their own language, how things work at the company.
Yeah, cool stuff. All right, then.
Who am I?
Oh,
I'm the one who can be one.
it doesn't work as smoothly as I would have hoped. All right. Then AI-driven automated A/B testing. So I think one thing I have seen, which is actually pretty cool, is A/B testing through AI and in a very sort of user-friendly manner. This is Keek, if I pronounce that correctly, and the PIM vendors website, where you can basically select any piece of text and then run A/B tests on them. And I use the PIM vendor site in this case, obviously, but you can also do this on a product, right? So if you have a product and you want to test the different title of that product or maybe a different description, you can have AI generate a new variation and then have it automatically A/B test different versions compared to each other, and even select winners automatically and improve on those through AI again. So you can chain together different AI-based A/B tests, which I think is super, super interesting. It is still a bit rough around the edges. You cannot really select everything or just sort of fully automate the full A/B testing suite. But I think it follows in the augmenting human intelligence versus like fully automating humans, where I think most of the AI developments are going, right? So helping us with our daily tasks versus fully replacing us. But let's see what the future brings. And I think this is a very, very interesting example. Maybe next tools from your end, Hendrik. I'm going to share your screen. Hold on.
Well, I got a few tools. Well, one of the hardest things is creating content if you have a website, because it takes a lot of time. And what a lot of people do is doing research, looking for PDF files or other documents, and taking a look at it, maybe drop them in ChatGPT and rewrite them. But what also is possible, like to go to YouTube and translate a video to an article or a blog post or an SEO page. So, for example, I got a page here, video to page. If the video file is below the 5 minutes, then it is free, and above it you have to pay. I believe per credit or something. So for every 5 minutes you pay $1 or something. So what I did, like for example, I have a URL here. This is a URL, a video about how AI is changing our world, from Business Insider. And what I can do, I can put this URL just into this box and press generate. And then I got a different kind of selections. I can use it for blocking. Well, you see the other things are grayed out because I have to pay for it. But I can use it for marketing, for SEO, for podcast material, for educational, like for a course. I can do a transcript. So, for example, if I use this one, an SEO-focused article, I put on press. You see, it's real-time generating a unique content article for your website. So it took a still from the YouTube video. I take this page is ready. So, for example, you can use this content on your website. So what the benefits are, you can take a look at YouTube, what kind of videos are popular about some items you are doing business in, and you can generate, well, on an easy way, unique content for your website. So I think this is a really handy feature because I know everyone is struggling with content. It takes a lot of time. And it's also really easy to generate new ideas for blog posts of maybe a training course or a podcast. So that's the first tool I would like to highlight.
Super interesting. Yeah.
The next tool, this is an amazing tool. And what this tool does, it can make sentiments about audio files. So, for example, if you have a call center and you have people working in it, you can record, of course, the conversation with a client. And what you can do a transcription. So, for example, I go, it's a quickly deep dive, but I go to the dashboard. I can, for example, here upload the audio file. And at the left side, I have options to select. So I can do a transcription, but I also can say, well, I want to measure the sentiment, if it is positive, neutral, or negative. But I also want to see what kind of topics people is talking about. So when I press on run, it will analyze the audio file, so your conversation between your customers. And it says like, okay, 74% is neutral, 26% is negative. You can listen to the audio file, but also can see where the negative sentiment is. So it helps you to analyze what kind of problems people have. For example, if they ordering a product on your website, or when they are calling you about an issue about a service they bought. You can also see what kind of topics you're talking about in your call. And this is a medical file, an example medical file. But no, you see 12% is about allergia. And also I like intense, like inform the patient about the medication. So you can get all kind of information that you can use to train your call center employees. But also maybe, for example, if there are some questions coming, more often, or people are less satisfied about some things, you can, for example, use those information on your website to maybe build an FAQ page, or maybe change some descriptions or text at the product, so people better knows what product is about, instead of they being negative about your company. So this tool is Deepgram, and it's free to use. And it's also like you have to pay for credits when you use it, more than 5 or 10 minutes. I think, you see here, I have 49 minutes left. Well, now I come at one of the most amazing tools. I really love like tools that you can make a website by a prompt. And the most websites are you have custom made or you have templated. And templated are especially WordPress websites, or maybe, for example, Shopify. But what Dora is, it generates a website just only with a prompt. So this is the front page. And when I go to the dashboard, 1 minute, I go to the login, generate. Let's start. I can put up a prompt here. So for example, say make a landing page about a hamburger of McDonald's. Generate. It gives here examples. So for example, I can take a look at examples of what there is about what I like. So for example, I choose this one. I generate, it automatically selects the style. it generates normally in about 15 seconds a page. So now it's generating. Also here again, you have pay with credits. So for example, I don't know what the price is, but I can make 3 times a website. So I've got here a website. For example, I choose select one to generate. Can I? Where is it? Where is it now? My button. Oh, here. Generate. Now it's generating the page, and now it's building up the whole website. I don't know how long it takes, and otherwise I take the other tool. I will come back later, because maybe it takes a few minutes. Oh, well, there it's going. So actually, you can use a prompt to describe it, and it will make a website. Well, we check it later again.
Mm-hmm.
The last tool I would like to show is Descript. And Descript is a tool that you can use to upload video. Well, I can make a new project, and what I can do, I can upload an audio project, I can upload a video file, but also can upload a YouTube file. And the funny thing is, I upload a file here about, I got a YouTube video here about 30 minutes about the 2024 fashion trends.
Yes, of course.
I upload it in, and you see it is transcribed all the text, a video, and if I click on it, it goes to the scene. But the funny thing is, I just can delete parts of text in it. So it's just make your YouTube video complete interactive. Like, well, I delete this one, I delete this, maybe I delete this a lot. So I go back to the top, delete this. So now I just changed the YouTube video. And also can say, well, I want to change words in the video. Like, well, generating the word. And if you have the paid version, you even can overdub words. So that means you can use a complete other word, and the mouth will synchronized, of how you say it in English, will be synchronized completely with the voice and the audio file. But you also can say, like here, I'll select all the text, and I will change it here, for example, in German. Like here, you have translation here. So I can say, well, translate it to Danish, Dutch, English, and dub the speech. But you also can say, for example, if you are reading a text, and now I'm looking at the camera, but for example, if I was looking here to read a text, I can automatically focus the eyes on the camera, so that you are all looking at me and thinking, well, he's looking at me, but I'm still in real time looking at above my screen to read the text. But this tool can correct your eyes that is still looking at you as a viewer. So this is a really cool interactive way to really fast edit your YouTube videos on base of text instead of selecting the video frames. And this tool is calling Descript. And of course, we share all the tools again. And now I hope the website is, well, here's the website. Now going back to the door, and you see here, I got the website. It's completely made with a prompt. So maybe it still needed some customization. And now I can publish the whole website and edit the text. So this is a nice way, I think, to use AI for, well, for example, if you have a product launch. For example, you have a corporate website and you're launching a new car or a new, a new painting color, for example. You can just generate one website for one product to advertise it with a personal, blog post from video to page. And of course, a video shortened in with Descript. So, well, this is in a nutshell a few tools you can use for improving your work or even your personal life.
Maybe a quick question, Hendrik, because you showcased HeyGen last time, right? That is also, and I used Caption AI to create the video that we used in the intro, and I think. What would you think? So you don't maybe know Caption AI, or you know it, but you haven't used it maybe, but how would you compare HeyGen versus Descript versus, well, Caption as far as you...
Yeah, well, HeyGen is more like making a copy of yourself, And of course, they have features in it to dubbing your voice, etc. But it's all, it's an other way of using and editing your video. So it's more making an avatar and use ChatGPT to change the text or change the language and dubbing it. But with this tool, you can, for example, it's more like a video editor. Like you have made a video and you can edit on base of text, and you can you can remove the background, make a green screen, change the background, change the studio voice. I say you can change the eyes. The eyes is looking at the camera instead of looking on the table or on a script. So it's more a visual video editor with all kind of AI features. So I compare it more like with iMovie, but then with AI features in it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And caption is I think caption is more the same like HeyGen, but caption is more it's on the mobile phone, so it's easy to use. And even now, for example, you have Runway. Runway is an AI video generation tool, but even with that tool, you can change real life environments. So if you're walking on the beach by yourself, you can film yourself, and with a prompt, you can pop up a submarine on the background, for example. So it's AI combined with real video and images. So that's fascinating way of using AI, I think.
Yeah, I think I would still be curious. Maybe someone from the audience knows, and I see Sachin's question about sharing the different tools we have used and sharing links. So we will definitely do that. There will be a recording shared with everyone, and in that on the page of that where the recording is hosted, we'll also share all the different tools. But back to the question, using Caption AI also immediately ran into the limits of using it, right? So it is still very much, I don't move my head around in that video, right? So my lips are synchronized, but not just lip synchronization, but it doesn't feel natural. It's a bit like my lips move, but the rest of my jaw, the rest of my cheek doesn't move. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is.
No, your eyes is more more staring on the camera. Yeah. Well, it's getting better and better because I got a few HeyGen avatars, and the first one, well, it's looking funny, but it's really, you can see it's AI generated. But the latest one I made, I was just walking on the street, was filming myself, and later I could just change my voice and my and the language and dub it and synchronize everything. And it was hardly to see that it was an AI made video. So it's getting better and better. So I think in a year, I really think that you can make a video clip that is not even possible anymore to see it if it is AI or if it is the real you.
Yeah, probably you can also already do that, but you need 50 people to edit. Maybe create clips and combine them. But for the average Joe like you and me, well, I don't want to say you're average, Hendrik, but I'm definitely average. No, but yeah, it is getting there, right? So I did think I didn't intend to. Well, I did intend to fool people with the intro, but I didn't think it would work for longer than this was 30 seconds. So if you would extend this to 60 or maybe even 60 seconds or maybe even 5 minutes, you would definitely see that this is AI. But you're saying that maybe this is not the right tool for it. You should have used
in different situations. And I think, well, at this moment, well, we both knew that it is AI, but I think there are still a lot of people, they don't see if it is AI. I think when I showed my mom, she thinks that it's real. So I think it also has a scary way, like that it can be really easy to scam people with a clone of yourself. And even now, these days, you can use a picture, only a picture, and make those pictures move and talk. So, well, and a picture of a person is from everyone. Like I can make a screenshot of you right now, and I can make you talk, maybe for next time. So, and I think, well, maybe I think and there's also the AI Act. I think that will become regulations that companies has to put a symbol in a corner, like it's AI generated or something, because it can mislead people, and it can be really used for the wrong ways, I think. Because this one was funny. But yeah, you can easily scam people, like when you get a copy of your mom or a copy of myself and sending my mom a message, FaceTime message like, can you transfer some money to me?
Yeah.
So I think it will be,
Yeah, I think, I mean, the spear phishing stuff, right? So really targeted scamming of people has always been very powerful and very much easier than people realize. Right? So there's so much personal data out there about people that you can definitely scam someone already. But with exactly like you say, like with this stuff and the amount of voice material that is out there on YouTube of you and me now already by this video, that's enough to scam our mothers.
And even on the smartphone, but like for example, for HeyGen, it's more difficult because I cannot make a copy of you because you have to read a full sentence and a secret code before the webcam that you say that I'm really the person. But on the smartphone, all the kind of apps in the Play Store or in the App Store can make a deep fake of everyone. So that's the scary thing, I think.
Yeah, I'm very curious when we will see the first real life applications of that. We'll probably very soon.
Well, you even see it with the elections. Maybe you've seen that Elon Musk. I don't know. Do they still stay tweeted? I don't know, but it's on X right now. He put in a video of Kamala Harris about it's just fake information, but it's her voice with real images. So it's hard to say that it's fake because it looks like a campaign movie, but it's all fake information and a fake voice. So that's the scary thing when people with a lot of power and money can spread such lies on the internet. That's the scary thing about AI, deepfakes, and voice cloning.
I think it doesn't even have to be. I mean, this was I would almost say a bad example of using voice cloning, right? I think you could definitely do better than the Kamala Harris video shared by Elon.
Of course.
But even then, it works because it is sowing doubt, right? You now have an audience that you can tell that actually something is a deep fake when it isn't, or you don't know what to trust anymore, right? Or whom to trust, because people trust influencers now.
It's not labeled, so you don't know. Normally, like sometimes they label if it is not if it is fake news, for example, and it was not labeled. So that's the.
I mean, it's even with the Southport attack, right? So they immediately got all these right-wing sites. Maybe a segue, but you got all these right-wing sites saying it was a Muslim person who came through a boat and blah, blah, blah. They had a name and a first name and a last name. But we're all wrong. And it was easy to falsify, to sort of check that information and falsify it. But that takes some time and effort. And if you want to believe it, you'll probably believe it. And you go out and go on the streets and protest because you don't like these boat people coming in or whatever, right? And even if you don't go out and go on the streets, it at least sort of confirms your suspicion that it's these people who do these things, even though it wasn't the case.
And that's the thing with, for example, by AI, because I'm into the world of AI, and you're also in love with AI. But my parents, they just watching the news or reading the paper, and they don't understand AI. They even don't know that it's possible to clone a voice or that you can make fake videos. And that's that can be a difficult way, but it can be useful. AI, like for in medical situations, like if you need a virtual doctor, for example, that can help you. But it can also be misused, I think.
All right, cool. We're going to quickly go through the next steps because I see we're coming up on time. So some next steps is our PIM Vendors AI product agent that we are launching. It's a service that does 4 things, or at least does a lot of things, but in these 4 main categories. So data cleansing, transformation, mapping, and enrichment. And if you have any product data that you want to have, I would say a product data process that you want to enhance, we have some very interesting ways of making that process much more efficient and maybe even much less prone to human error, and maybe much cheaper, because an AI agent is still a lot cheaper than having a human do this. So if you want to know more and learn about what we can do, so it is intelligence augmentation, not fully artificial intelligence. We're not replacing people immediately. It is skill augmentation. It also helps sort of removing the repetitive tasks and improves the quality. And we follow the SIPOC model or the SEPOC model, which I'd love to tell you everything about, but we don't have time. So book a call and discuss how we can use AI and AI agents to help you optimize your product data processes. And we go for impact, not for proof of concept. So proof of impact instead of proof of concept. And Hendrik?
Yeah, well, if you need an AI inspiration session, or you need your for an event, or you wanted to that I do a workshop at your company, well, you can connect me via LinkedIn, or just mail or call me.
All right. It is 5 p.m. right now, and we do have some time both to stick around and answer questions. So if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat, and we'll discuss them. Also, let us know what you want to see in the next session, because we are definitely planning to do a follow-up session, another follow-up session, yes, in which I will copy Hendrik and Hendrik will copy, me. But let us know what you would like to see. Let me know if you have any questions that you want to have answered right now. If you stuck around until now, thank you for your time and attention on this Thursday. We'd love to see you again next time around. And if I don't see you around, have a good day, and see you next time. Let's stop the screen share for now. And let's fix this. We're going to wait a bit for questions to drop in. I would like to see, Hendrik, a review or a deep dive on this murky world of AI influencers, right? These, I would say, fake models or fake persons on Instagram, or probably also OnlyFans or whatever, earning money through either subscriptions or product placement or whatever. And dive into that. Well, I think that is a fascinating world.
An amazing tool that calls ideogram, and you can upload, for example, your own face or a celebrity, and have a few kind of sliders. And in the slider, you can create a virtual model, and the model always has the same body, the same face, but you can say, well, the model is into the gym, is wearing Nike clothes, or also drinking coffee. So you can make a sort of Instagram account with your own influencer, or maybe even make an OnlyFans account and earning money with it. Because I know there are a lot of people using AI to create virtual influencers. And a famous one is Lil Miguela. I think she's Spanish or Brazilian. I don't know exactly, but she's earning, the team behind it is earning about $10 million a year. And they have contracts with BMW, with Tommy Hilfiger. It's a virtual model that is just showcasing products on social media.
Is it all virtual?
All virtual, yeah. But there's still a team behind to still use Photoshop to correct images and for example, to change the clothes of the model, because it's still hard to, if you have a photo shoot for Tommy Hilfiger, well, it's hard to use the collection of 2024, of course. So they still need to use Photoshop. Yeah. It has 2.5 million followers, and this all AI. Nothing is real. And there are even videos that looks real, but it's all fake. So that's and I really think that a virtual influencer can be useful, because there are several ways. I believe that a few months ago we have a Dutch YouTuber, he's international, but it's Kwebbelkop. He has about 15 million followers, and a while ago he made a virtual copy of himself that was playing Minecraft and was on YouTube, but a lot of people left following him because, it felt fake. So I think making a virtual influencer of an existing people can be giving a problem, I think. But creating a new kind of influencer can be really exciting. Like, for example, if you are Coca-Cola, making your own influencer, because that one is never sick, has never problems with the police or something. So you can make your own influencer. And I still, it can be really cool. Like, for example, well, maybe is this an idea for Coolblue, that Peter Swat, the CEO, make a personal message for you. So if you have problems with your washing machine, your video call in Coolblue, and you get Peter Swat for the camera, and he's telling you how to reset the dishwasher of the washing machine or something with an AI copy. That will be funny, I think. So I think there are a lot of ways to use it in several ways to use a digital copy of virtual influencer.
Super interesting. Or have Colin McRae or Michael Schumacher or Max Verstappen as your driving instructor.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I think we're going to wrap up.
Yeah.
And we're going to save our new tools and influences for the next time.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for joining me today, and
thank you too.
The time. And I will send the recording to everyone that joined us today. So if you missed a bit, you'll get the recording for sure. And we'll share all the tools that we have discussed and links to the different tools as well, so you can explore on your own. See you next time. Have a good day, and love to see you in a week or 4. And